Hello, everyone. We are your friends from the Office of Early Childhood at the Mississippi Department of Education. My name is Michael, and believe me, learning is always fun.
And I'm Robin, and I cannot wait to learn new things with you.
And I'm Dynamic Dita. I love to investigate.
I'm Okie, and I like to hokey pokey. I also like to learn through song.
I'm Marissa, and I like to make learning fun. And this is our Mockingbird. He's our state bird, and he likes to send us a tweet every day.
And I'm Candace. I like to show you different ways to do things.
Welcome, welcome, friends today. Friends that are here and far away.
Remix!
Welcome, welcome, friends today. Friends that are here and far away. We will learn through meaningful play about our theme and question of the day. Welcome, welcome, friends today. Friends that are here and far away. Let's have fun!
Welcome, friends. I'm so happy to see you today. Let's go visit the Mockingbird and see what he has tweeted us. How do you solve problems? How do you solve problems? Let's invite Candace up here and let's see if we can work this out together. Candace.
Hi, Marissa. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
So our tweet is, how do we solve problems?
Oh, that is a very important skill to have.
It is, because sometimes it takes a lot of work to solve your problem correctly and in a nice way. So let's look at the vocabulary words. This word is solve, and that means to find an answer or to complete something. And right here in this picture, the man is helping his child solve a puzzle. They're putting the pieces together. And this word is together, and that means to join in. And in this picture, the man, the grandfather, is looking and helping his granddaughter make something and stir. They're doing it together.
Oh, it's much more fun to do things together.
It is. So can you share with us your Spanish words and sign language for those two words?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the Spanish word for solve is resolver.
That is a lot of tongue rolling, Candace.
Let's try it again.
Do it again.
Resolver.
Resolver.
Very good. And it kind of has the word solve in it.
I heard it. I heard it.
The sign for solve, you're going to take your two hands and hide your thumb in the back. You're going to bring them out and bring out the thumbs. So we start like this and bring them out. Solve.
Solve.
Isn't that neat?
I like that. That's much easier than the Spanish word. Okay.
Our other word is together. And the Spanish word doesn't sound like the English word.
No.
The Spanish word for together is juntos.
Juntos.
Very good. It doesn't have any R's in it.
It doesn't. And it doesn't even start with a T.
No, it's very different. Let's do it again. Juntos.
Juntos.
Very good.
Okay.
The sign for together, you're going to take your two hands out like this with them touching and go around in a circle. Together, like we're including all of us.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that neat?
Together. I do. I like that. So I'm going to have my new friend, Robin, and she always talks to her children before she comes to see us. And I can't wait to see how they answered this question on how to solve a problem.
That's going to be great.
So I'm going to invite you back later.
Okay. See you
All right.
later.
Thanks, Candace.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
So,
Hi, Marissa.
hi, Robin. Welcome.
It's so nice to be here today.
I am so happy to see you, and I cannot wait to hear how some of the children have answered this question of how do you solve a problem.
Oh, Marissa, I can't wait for you to hear their responses. They had lots of great input on how they like to solve problems.
Okay, so we should read.
We should
okay.
read.
Can I go first this
Yes.
time? Okay. put my hand in here and grab one. This is from Claire. Mama does the cooking stuff and Daddy does the washing stuff.
That's a great way to solve problems. They work together.
They do work together, and the mom, one person doesn't have to do everything. I like that.
I like that too.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have. This is from Reed. Reed said, when my baby brother is whiny, my mom rocks him, and my dad cooks food and plays with me.
Oh,
Look at Mom and Dad working together to solve
they
problems.
are working together. Okay, let's do another one. This is from Olivia, and she says, my ankle was hurting, so I cried, and my mama put a Band-Aid on it.
Well, that's a great way to solve a problem.
You know, Band-Aids solve a lot of problems for children.
You think so? Well, I
do.
know they can stop bleeding. What else can they do?
So, my little boy, he thinks that a Band-Aid will help a bruise heal faster. So,
It just
Band-Aids,
makes him feel better, right?
does. It does. Okay, let's do one more.
Oh, this one. Walt, he said, I just say sorry.
Oh, so if he has a problem, like maybe if he accidentally stepped on somebody's foot, because that's a problem, he could say, I'm sorry.
You know, I noticed while I was visiting that one friend knocked over another friend's block structure. And that friend was really sad.
Uh-huh.
And Walt said, I'm sorry.
That was so nice of him to help. And I wonder if Walt would help him rebuild it. That would be
That's a
another
great
way
idea.
to help solve that problem.
And work together.
Okay, so I have a huge problem.
What's that, Marissa?
So I had asked some friends of mine, and when I say friends, they're little friends,
Oh.
to write their name. Okay? And I want to show you something.
Okay.
So I have my friend Julia, and I'm going to put Julia's name writing right up here.
Oh, wow.
And that is Julia's name. Now, when Julia wrote her name, she is 3.
Well, Julia did a great job.
She's almost 4. Julia started on this side, and she wrote her J and her U and her L and her I and an A. And she could tell me the letters in her name. And
So her writing had meaning. She knew what she was writing.
yes, she knew exactly what she was writing. But when I looked at this, I got a little scared because it just looks like a bunch of lines on there. So I brought this resource because this resource does a great job of reminding me that it's okay to scribble a name, because there's a progression of how people and how children learn how to write. And it starts off with scribbling and controlled scribbles and circular scribbles. So if I look at this and I know that she has said the letters of her name and she knew to go in a direction even though it was backwards, I would say that she was kind of controlled in those scribbles.
I agree, Marissa, because it looks like her lines are controlled. I can see good straight lines and curved lines. So it looks like she has some control over her writing.
Yes. Okay, so now I have another friend, and his name is Ian. And so Ian is 4 also. And Ian has 2 big brothers.
Oh, wow. He probably gets a lot of help. I bet they work together a lot.
They do, and a lot of times Ian would much rather be outside playing than doing something like this.
Yes.
So when I asked him to write his name, he knew the letters in his name. He knew that there was an I and that it had to be a capital I. It couldn't be a lowercase I. And he knew that it had an A and an N. So when I asked him to write it, he started writing the I right here.
Oh.
And it's real tiny. For some reason, he wanted to write real tiny. And then here's an A, and then here's an N. So when we look over here, I kind of think he falls into some mock letters.
And I kind of noticed a mix, Marissa, because when I first looked at it, it seemed a little random. Like you see here in the beginning, some of it was random, but I do see some controlled strokes, and then I do see some mock letters. So it almost looks like he kind of went, kind of hit on all of those in some way.
Right.
Do you think?
I do. I think so, because sometimes children, they're not going to fall in this order and in the order that you see right here. They can have a mix of it. Sometimes they can revert back. So
Sometimes they skip steps altogether. Did you know that?
yeah, well, when you were telling me, I noticed that he skipped this step. He didn't do any drawing. And so the last thing I wanted to show you was, since I noticed that Ian had a hard time and his name was scattered, I wanted to have him trace his name. So I took a highlighter and I told him, I said, Ian, we're going to make a straight line. So we made a straight line down and a straight line across on the top and at the bottom. And then he took his marker and he traced it. And then we traced the A. And while I was making the A, I said, I'm going to make a circle and a straight line down. And he traced on top of it. And for the N, I said, we're going to make a straight line down and a curve and a straight line down. And then he took his marker. And so this was a way to show him how to write his name correctly.
This is a great idea, Marissa. I can't wait to take this back to the classroom and practice it with the children.
Yes.
You know, when I was visiting, I had the same problem. Many of the children there were really having problems writing their name, and I have a trick I'd like to share with you too.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
called
love
rainbow writing. Have you ever heard of rainbow writing?
rainbow writing. I've not.
Rainbow writing. So it's so much fun.
Okay.
What the children get to do is you write their name with a pencil real lightly, and they get to choose all the different colors they want to use and write each letter in their name with different colors. And it looks like a rainbow when they're finished.
I do like rainbows.
Would you like to see some
I was
samples?
hoping that you would have some.
I have some great ones.
Okay.
I want to start with this one. This one belonged to Sophia. Sophia was learning to write her name. She can't write her name yet, so we just started with the first letter in her name,
Okay.
which is the letter S.
It is.
But look at all the colors.
I see.
It's like a rainbow.
It does look like a rainbow. But then I noticed that some of the lines, she's not going on top of it. She's kind of off.
It's because you know what she did when she picked her marker up? She was doing like this, scribbles.
Oh, she
Like
was
we see
doing
right
little
here.
scribbles.
She was scribbling over the line. So see, she's in this first stage, the scribble stage. She didn't have a lot of control over her pencil. But I have another one I'd like to show you.
Okay.
This one belongs to Gianna. So Gianna, she looked like she had a mix. If we look at your chart you have here, she had a mix of scribbles and controlled scribbles. She had a lot of control over some of her lines.
Now, I noticed, first of all, that you have a dot by this one. Why do you have a dot right there?
Well, I was hoping you would ask me that, Marissa, because when Gianna wrote her name, this is the first one that she wrote. So can you see a difference in the first time she wrote her name and the second time she wrote her name?
I do see a difference. I see that this one is kind of how this child did. It's a little scribbly, and I heard you say not controlled or uncontrolled. And this one up here, it looks like she's got more control over it.
That's exactly right. And if you notice as she went through the letters in her name, they got a little better each time. And by the time she was finished, she loved it. She said it looked like a rainbow. She was so excited. She wanted to do it again. So she had practiced. So she had more control when she wrote her name the next time.
Oh, yes, I like that. So I bet after a few more times of practicing her name, she's going to have even more control.
That's right. I have one more I want to show you.
I can't wait.
So my friend, Catherine, as we were working on these names, Catherine was working all by herself.
And she wasn't even at your area, was she?
She was not. And she was so excited, and she told me that she did her own name. And she rainbow wrote her name all by herself. But look at hers.
Her letters are straight and curved lines. It looks like she's got wonderful control over her letters.
Yes.
And it looks like she might fall into this little area right here because her string of letters are all in a row and they're all formed correctly.
That's right, Marissa. And you know what else I noticed? She used a different color for each letter in her name.
So that was her way of making a rainbow.
That's right.
Her rainbow writing. Well, Robin, thank you for sharing this with me today, and I cannot wait to share this with our friend Candace.
Well, thank you for having me, Marissa, and letting me share my friend's work with you.
Well, you sure make learning fun.
Thank you.
And I can tell by the children's work. So have a great day.
Bye, Marissa.
Bye, Robin. Candace.
Hi, Marissa.
So welcome back, Candace.
Thanks.
Robin and I were talking about writing and how there's different stages of writing. And if you look over here, we talked about how Julia, this is how Julia's writing her name and how she's more at the beginning stages of writing. And Ian, he would fall kind of in the middle. And then she taught me a new thing, and it was called rainbow writing.
Wow.
Because she noticed that sometimes the children didn't have a lot of control over their holding the pencil or holding their writing utensil. So she had them rainbow write. And then this right here, this is where Catherine, she was just sitting far away and she saw all those kids having fun and she just wrote her name all by herself. She did a great job.
Yeah, she used a lot of different colors in hers.
That was her rainbow.
I love it.
So I'm wondering if you can help me if I wanted to work with these two children, how can I make their fingers stronger?
Oh, that's a great idea. It's great to strengthen their fingers and hands as they learn to write. And there are many ways that we can do that. I brought a couple to show you.
Okay.
So one of the things we can do is use some play clay. So we're going to take this out. I'm going to put this down. I don't want to mess up your table. I'll tell you what, let me use the pink one so it'll show up better. Is that pink or purple?
It's purple.
Purple, all right. So I'm going to take some Play-Doh out of here, and I'm going to put it out on the table, squish it out. And you know what? The act of smushing and squishing and rolling the dough, that is good for strengthening their muscles.
I'm going to hold this for you.
Oh, that's great, thank you. So what I could do then is I can take a pencil or a toothpick or anything that I can hold, and I can write in the dough. So I could make an M for Marissa. Look at that.
Oh.
And it could just be a stick. It doesn't have to be a pencil. I just happen to have one. Or I could take my dough and keep it balled up. It's kind of sticky.
Well, you're building your muscles right now.
Absolutely. And I could roll it out like this and use it to make some letters. So I could make, let's see, I could make a T. My friend Troy, his name starts with T. So I could make a line going across, and then I can make another piece and make a line coming down. And now I made letter T for Troy.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, so what do you do if a child does not know what a letter looks like?
Well, sometimes we need to give them some examples. So one of the things that we could do is we could write them for them and provide an example.
Okay.
So for instance, we have our writing board here, and if Troy didn't know how to write a T, I could demonstrate a line across, and a line coming down.
Oh.
And I could erase it and give him a turn, or I could leave it and let him copy it. So he goes across and down, and then I could give it to him and he could try it. Across and down.
Oh,
Isn't
like
that neat?
Yes.
It's fun to practice in different ways. And if he really needs to work on his hand muscles, we also have, I got it in my tool belt here.
You've got a lot of stuff in your tool belt.
I do. I have some putty, and this is special putty that helps strengthen your muscles. It's kind of hard at first, and you squeeze it, and you squeeze it, and that makes the muscles in my hands really strong. Isn't that cool? Try it out.
I want to try it because Play-Doh is soft. Oh, Candace, this is hard. I have to push really hard.
That makes your muscles strong. Isn't that neat?
That is neat.
So there are all kinds of ways. There are also special writing utensils you can use to help hold your utensil in the right way. So there may be something like this that a child can use, and they can hold it this way if they're still holding their pencil this way. And that happens to be a marker, but you could put a pencil in there and they just use it and write like that. And I also have, I used it a minute ago, this is just a pencil, but it has a gripper on it, and the gripper helps me hold my pencil correctly.
Oh,
Isn't that neat?
I like that. Now, I see a box over to the side of you. and
This is my favorite.
I'm wondering what's in there.
Let me show you what's in this box,
Okay.
because this is one of my favorite things to use.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what's in here?
I guess there's, oh wait, I just looked. It's sand.
I opened it too quickly. It is sand. It is sand. And you can shake the box and spread out the sand, and you can write in it with your finger. I can write, look, M for Marissa.
Oh, and while you're doing it, I don't know if the children can hear, but it's making a sound while you're doing it.
And if I want to make something else, all I have to do is shake it, shake it. Look, it's gone.
Can I try?
Please do.
Okay, I'm gonna try with one finger. And I'm gonna make a C for Candace.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start right here, and your C does not have straight lines.
It does not.
It has curved lines.
Isn't that neat?
That is neat. And then it just gets on your finger and you just blow it off. Can I erase it real quick?
Sure. That's the most fun part for me.
That is fun part. Candace, you always have some fun ways to help us with our children to make them better. So
You know,
thank
there are
you.
all kinds of ways to learn, and not everyone learns in the same way at the same time, but we all need to learn to write our name.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for working together with us to help solve some problems.
Great.
And until next time,
Farewell.
Friends, we hope you had fun today. Be sure and join us again next time for more adventures.
And for more fun activities, you can always go to our website at mde.k12.org/EC. Farewell, farewell, friends today, friends that are here and far away. We have learned a lot through play about our theme and question of the day. Farewell, farewell, friends today. It's time to go till another day. Farewell.